we do it ourselves. I think that's how we started as well. And all of us sat down and just starting with in the meeting room, starting to draw things out. If you look at the first, I always remember the first graphics that came out from Kit, and I think we have pivoted many times. We had a lot of learnings for the past don't know how many months or years, and I guess here we are talking to you guys, right? Sharing our journey, and I'm sure you continue to evolve, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah, it's always fun to be a part of the journey of well, a team and see how you progress. And eventually, when I look at gaming as a whole, it should always evolve around the gamer and the fun to play a game. And that can be either you are hooked in fantastic graphics, or you want a nice game which will give you fun and do some PvP, or you're really into role playing. I don't know. It should always evolve around the game, and that's why I thought. Well, I think personally that play and earn will be the future for Web3 gaming, and not play to earn, because that will diminish the value of the project on the short run. I don't know if you look at it differently.
I just to add on to that, I saw it differently as well when we first started. I always remember that from the esports side, we spent a lot of money to build the team to where they are now. That was many, many years ago, right? And we have such a large community, and everyone is looking for ways to sustain themselves to make money. And I always remember thinking, even for those gamers, right, how do they make money? I think that adds up. So I guess Web3 gives us that option as well. But and I guess that options of now, because of that, a lot of guilds being established as well, right, in the market. And even people, you don't need to be part of guild. You can be alone playing. Now you have a chance to make money as well. But I'm not saying that you should quit your job now and just play games full time. But at least the possibility is there now, and because of the technology, it does get closer, right, to some of those dreams that people have. And I guess this is another perspective that I see it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, I agree. Shall we answer a couple of questions from the audience?
Yeah, they are also good.
Yeah, they're also good.
I saw one. I left a fire emoji, so just to remind myself, I kind of want to answer that. So it's by Andy, right?
Yeah,
So
one
it's
of
one of the
the yeah.
objectives. Yeah,
Go
one
ahead.
of the objectives for the DGPal NFT is to have a design that allows them to be reused for integration into third-party games. However, one of the sources of income that allows the development of games is precisely the sales of NFTs. So what benefit would a third-party game have when using the DigiPal NFTs instead of creating and selling their own NFTs? So I think this particular statement, right, is a very important one to us because we have been running a game incubator for a couple of years now, right? So we help startups build up their games, build up the team, build up a strong monetization design and also progression design for the game so that it fits the market. On top of that, we make sure that the game visually and in terms of gameplay is up to a standard whereby the market can accept it, right? So when all in all, the whole journey takes up about maybe 9 months to 1 year. And the thing is, when we look at startups, when we look at indies, their runtime or their runway in terms of funding is going to be very stretched, right? And every dollar that they have, they put back into development. So it's to either programmers, to artists, to audio designers, to game designers, so on and so forth. And by the end of it, right, so they have to go and start, marketing. And that's the part where they realize that they spent all of the money in development, that they have almost $0 for marketing. And the thing is, if you look at this NFT space, it's highly, highly relying on marketing, web presence, social media, engagement, all these kind of things that are very new to game design because they are not that heavily present in Web 2, but in Web 3, it is so predominant, right? To the point, even without a game product, if you can hype the people up, you can hype the market up, you can actually sell out your NFT. And that's where traditional game makers will struggle, right? Because they are here to build something, they're here to build an experience. And the thing is, when we have an NFT set they can easily adopt, they just have to focus on a good and entertaining gameplay. And that's where it matters, right? Because again, if you don't have to go and mint all these NFTs to put into the players' hands to even get it to be sold out, you already immediately benefit from the DGPals community just by you saying that, if you have these NFTs, come in, try my game, you see different things, you have a different mechanic, different genre altogether, right? And not only that, it shaves off a couple of months of development because they don't have to come out with all these assets. And whatever that we have built, whatever that we have invested in the community, now they get to enjoy this new content that solely focuses on the gameplay, right? So I think you can see that it's a win-win situation, and there's synergy between that. So what happens when you talk about these third-party developers? How do they monetize, right? So nothing is stopping them from actually having their own in-app purchases, or even just to buy into have content expansion, or even things that is purchasable pertaining to the game itself. But the thing is, by using the NFT system, they are not so-called cut out from launching their own NFTs, right? If they were to include the NFTs that we have, they basically are benefiting from the player base that we have. And on top of that, those who actually owns the DGPal NFTs now have even more content to try out. So again, it's like a win-win situation we're looking at here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't agree more. Samson, do you have anything to add to that?
I think it goes back to the point that I raised just now. And I always remember I was getting calls or getting referrals from Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, even Europe, right, in Germany. Gave us a proposal because they sold out a lot of NFTs. I think the biggest issue is that a lot of people underestimated the effort to build games from a business perspective, right? And I always remember we had this conversation. Someone wanted to give us X dollars an amount, which is pretty big. But when you look at it, right, building a game is not like just build a game, you put it out to the market, and then you're done. And you have to remember the cost to maintain a game, right? When it comes to the live ops, when it comes to where we are, even now we are building a 24/7. It's not easy, right? And then you're talking about the infra cost. You're talking about continuous having different features. For example, Legends, we are going to have a lot of features coming out in a different month, right? So everything is money from a business standpoint. And a lot of people think that you just build a game, you put it up, and that's it. You have a game, now we are done. It's really not that. It's just like a kid, right? You have to feed them before they grow into a mature product. I guess the difference between the traditional world and now is the traditional world, we need to play test, we need to make sure that it's gamer ready, market ready, we put it out. But for Web3, we want to put it out and then get the feedback and then we build it up together, right? And that is why in this Web3, we make a decision to put it out despite the product is and maybe I call it the beta or call it the MVP version, right? We just put it out and then start to develop together with the feedback from various people, right? I guess this is how I see it, but seriously, but a lot of people underestimated the kind of work needed to build a team that can sustain a game, let alone a game studio, right? Really, and it has been a challenge, despite even for us, with all the experience that we have. I think we have been learning as well. Not forgetting, now you're talking about blockchain games, right? Meaning now the design and the blockchain part, everything differs. So I guess this is my input, but
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm again. I can't agree more that with you guys. That's building a team and building a consistent team and a team that actually delivers constantly. That's a big challenge, and you see a lot of projects disappearing after the first NFT launch. And either they cannot maintain their promise, or they cannot maintain the tempo it's needed. What I see so far from DGP is that you guys actually first built the company and then started building the game with all the ideas in mind, but still you build the foundation, and on the foundation the house comes, instead of you build the house first and then realize, hey, damn, I built my house on quicksand. So that's one thing I think you guys differ from other teams in the crypto space. I have another nice question. I like this one. Can you list 1 to 3 killer features for your project that makes you ahead of the competitors? What are the competitive advantages to your platform that you feel most confident about? I think I already answered it just now, but I'd like to hear it from you guys.
Well, let me take the first point, Keith. Let me share to you from even I share this to all the VCs, right? There are many types of VCs. There are many types of different stakeholders. I will share this to the community here. Right? One very important aspect in building startups, I take game studio as a startup, right? And we do have quite a fair bit of startup. And execution or scaling is very important. Having the right mix of people that you can hire, from hiring to adding people, making sure that people are working together, basically is how do you grow a startup, right? I guess that part is very important, and a lot of people don't talk about that. Despite with our experience, I always find that the execution part is the hardest. Having that idea, having the NFTs, making that money, the first bit, is not as difficult as having a very good execution beat, right? And that part to me, I keep stressing to all the VCs, even those one that really back us. I think one of the key things that they mentioned to us is Samson. One of the reasons why we want to back you up, I think at the end of the day, is all about the founders and also the execution. And we do have a right leadership team that we have, even the network access, right? Whether it's Southeast Asia or Europe or US, we even have a team spread across Europe and also a small team in US as well. So what it means is that we do have the structure that we can look into. Once you have that structure, then it's easier for you to find the people. And even once you have the people, you can build the product, right? The product or the studio is as good as the people running behind. Are we perfect? We are not actually. We are not perfect, but we are heading to that direction. We want to grow as a team. So execution is the first beat. Right? When it comes to the product, I'll pass it to you, Kit.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone here, right? So that particular feature, what makes the project ahead of the competitors, coupled with the next one, right, which is I see a gap between traditional gamers and blockchain gamers is still very large. So this part, well, I have to throw the ball back at Samson, right? Because again, he's a founder of Team Flash, the esports team, at the same time CEO of Gosu Gamer. So we are having a lot of connections with the traditional gaming space, and the thing is we are already leveraging on some of this network, right, to bring in gamers, traditional gamers, in fact, from the esports scene, from the gaming scene into NFT gaming and crypto gaming. So that part is one advantage that we currently have. And I think the other part is that when we actually look at this particular uh, game space, again, going to the game developer standpoint, we are not technologists trying to build a game, right? We are game developers trying to build a game in the Web3 space. So, which is what I'm observing when it comes to NFT project, because a lot of times they build a lot of features on blockchain, but the thing is, some of this feature doesn't have to be on blockchain. You leave yourself up to vulnerabilities, people to hack, and we have seen a lot of bot snipings, effectively making the entire game unplayable because a small tiny group of people basically cut out the rest of the community from actually participating in the game. And there were a lot of issues whereby a lot of things can be solved using conventional methods, centralized game servers, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, people often they're not over leverage on Web3 or the blockchain or the contract side of things, smart contract side of things, and make the project really, unusable to a certain extent. So I think at the end of the day is that so, is that Albert? Hi, Albert. Yeah. So I think that's basically the second part, right? So I think the third part is that we are having we're aiming to be the first interoperable game on Chronos Space. On top of that, we are having plans to make it a cross-chain war feature in our game. So what that means is that as a game developer, we are not bound by the chain, but rather how expand can we push ourselves such that we can actually have chain pits against another chain. So in the future plan, as a game developer, we can have NFTs on every single chain, and all these players can come in to the same space and they can fight each other out. So I think that's the part where it makes this whole thing really, really exciting, right? And through our own game itself, we are going to be releasing 4 games this year, and the same NFTs can be featured in 3 of them, and they are all different genres. So what essentially we are trying to show people is that this NFT with the current metadata that has been embedded inside the NFTs can be interpreted by the game designer in any form and shape to design any genre of games. So once we have shown that it is possible and it's doable, and that's where we will start onboarding all the other game developers, the indie teams, and so on and so forth, to really come in, create content.
Yeah, absolutely true. I always also see a lot of questions about the tokenomics or about the tokens. That's why I pulled up the screen of the tokenomics from the white paper. If people are interested in finding out what the dual token mechanism is, DGT and OPL, then you can go to the website, to the white paper of DGPals, and there you can see that the DGG token will be mostly for earning DGX when staking, gamified staking. You can use that for NFT minting. It will also, so you can stake your DGG, and it's actually the governance token, the gold token. And then the utility token, OPL, will be used for upgrading your NFTs. Like I asked in the beginning for Kit, it's that I hatched a couple of eggs. Let me go to New World. I hatched a couple of my eggs, and now I need to hatch another egg, or not upgrade another of my NFTs, but I don't have OPL. So you use OPL to upgrade your NFT to so that you can actually start playing with that NFT in Legends. But the OPL token will launch in a couple of weeks, and if I'm not mistaken, that will be on VVS, correct?
Yep, you're correct.
Yeah, so that's to answer all the questions about the tokens and the tokenomics. Also, I like this question. Why did DGPals choose VersaGames among others for partnerships? Well, I can answer that, but then it's preaching my own parochial. So please answer. Please answer this for us.
I think whether is when it comes to stakeholder or when it comes to partnership, right? And I always believe it's not so much of the product or even the company, right? It's that whether you can work with that person to grow this together. Are we able to evolve together? These are some of the questions when we spoke to Noah and the whole leadership team, right? I think it's really about that. About even for us to talk to you about, I think at the end of the day, it goes back to, do we have the right values in terms of how we see the business going to, right? The direction, the intention, right? Do you think we'll be able to work together to grow this? And I don't look at any games or company at this moment, right? Because company evolve, we pivot, product grows, game will go, right? So at the end of the day, it's all about whether can we work together. And when VersaGames came to us asking us, we want to be a part of this, right? And we didn't take long internally. We just say, yeah, let's just do it, right? Because at the end of the day, we get along really, really well. And we are not here talking about being calculative or what. We just want to grow this with the right intention. But that is my perspective. I can let Kid share his perspective, but that was how I felt the first time we met up and we spoke about it when you guys got by the studio.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Kit's point of view too.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is still that I think VersaGame really helped in creating the exposure. I think end of the day is that you guys are here with the true intention to really elevate GameFi, and of course trying to declutter the current space. I don't know, maybe a lot of the times when I look at some of these games, I don't really call them games. I think they are like gamified mining, right? So I make you buy into something arbitrary, then basically create another different staking mechanism, and I'm giving you the money that I create and print, and I call that a game, right? So I think a lot of gamers will disagree. In fact, traditional gamers will disagree that it's a real game. And I think this is the kind of problems that we need to solve together with VersaGames, right? Is that if we want to really tap into the true potential of entertainment industry, right? We look at mobile games, we look at PC games, console games, movies, music. It's huge, right? Even during the pandemic, even when the market is down, this industry stands firm. And that's how lifestyle is going to be for everyone, right? We need entertainment, and we are always looking out for fresh and fun things to do with friends and whatnot. And yeah, I think bottom line is still journeying this together, looking at this Web3 space and maturing the GameFi space together. It's a very important partnership, right here. And end of the day is that, we want to redefine what NFT gaming is like so that the real gamers can come in and this whole play to earn thing can actually just be one aspect of the experience. It can still be a very fun gaming experience where players are coming in not expecting a monetary return at the end of the entire experience, right? So I think this is really something that we look forward to seeing happen on the NFT gaming space.
Yeah, and for me, it's fun working with you guys. It's we have good communication in the background. Everything is structured, organized. We actually have room to listen to each other, and I love doing these kinds of events also with you guys. You're accessible. You have an accessible team, good ideas, and I think that the partnership for VersaGames and DGPals is also build up a long-lasting relationship and doing this regularly. This will not again be the last AMA like you see with a lot of projects, is just doing one AMA or one event and then okay, move on to the next and don't think about it anymore. It's for us, it's we see you guys as a long-lasting partner with a lot to come in the future. So and I think that is for VersaGames also very important, that we work together with partners that are there for the long haul and wish to be there in a long way. So eventually, I think that it doesn't really matter what type of game it is, as long as it's fun to play and you are actually accessible for the audience. Because what's a game without its gamers, right? Are there any particular questions you guys want to answer, or do you have something else you really wish to tell us at this point?
Yeah, so many good questions.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
it's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long journey for us to change the mindset and perception, right? So, in fact, we ourselves, I don't think we are so arrogant to think that we can make it happen, right, with a singular gameplay experience. At the same time, what we will really try to do is to elevate our ideology when it comes to what GameFi space can be like really just painting out the possibilities through the games that we build. Not only to gamers but also to developers. So I think this is also where we work very closely with Kronos Chain, their incubation program, to create opportunities for people to come in to explore the space and also to on ramp and off ramp onto their chain. So we're going to come in from the consultation of maybe game developers and trying to help these game designers figure out, okay, what can they actually leverage on when we talk about Web3, when we talk about NFTs, and also help them basically knowledge transfer what we have learned over the last 1 year plus, and basically for them to really come up with their own ideas on how to leverage on some of these interesting aspects of Web3. And from Chrono's side, they're going to help them figure out the tech side and also preach a lot of like securities and what other kind of stuff to watch out for. There's so much learning to do for traditional game developer to come into Web3. And I think that, apart from building our own content, it's very important for us to always look out for projects who are up and coming. And the more true GameFi project exists in the Web3 space, the more people will start to see that this is a real gaming experience and game platform.
True. Shall we talk about the game? I really like to talk about the launch of New World and Legends a little bit. So, Kit, can you take me through a little bit of what I've been doing? And so I got my eggs. I had a couple of NFTs. I hedged my eggs. You can hedge up to 10 eggs at once. And then my eggs come out, and I go to my log. Let's take one. So it starts here. Well, I'm not going through 126 pages, but what happens when I look at my eggs? It's how does an egg go into a certain direction? What defines that it doesn't go this tree, but it does go this tree?
Right. Currently, the gameplay is somewhat random, right? So when you actually hatch an egg, in fact, when you reveal an egg from the platform into the game, you for the first time you will know its rarity. So it can be O for ordinary, G for great, E for excellent, R for rare, and UR for ultra rare. So once you know your rarity, then basically the NFT, the DGPal can start hatching, and it will slowly grow and evolve into the final form over the course of 5 days. And once it matures, you can actually mint it as an NFT. But I think the true game experience that we're trying to deliver here is that because of the name New World, right, we are introducing this new world to the player base. So this whole experience is all about finding out something that little snippets of stories and interesting things about the world, and that's why you saw that you have 126 pages worth of things to read, because that's the whole point. It is supposed to be narratively driven, and players are supposed to be exploring what's so interesting about this space, what are the different locations there are, and the DGPals is basically the vehicle that brings the player through that entire explorative experience. And the thing is, we're not stopping here, right? Because when we have the entire roadmap planned out, we do not expect this game to be super heavy in terms of gameplay, because people will be interested in Legends where the PvP happens. People will be interested in Adventure where the PvE happens as a clan. And those are the kind of games that is going to be a lot more engaging, and there's going to be more things for players to play, and at the same time farm for the tokens and do what upgrades, mint more NFTs, so on and so forth. So going back to New World, it is going to be a chill terrarium kind of experience, and we are not stopping at what you are seeing here right now. If you look at the map, go to the top left corner, you'll see that there is a little passageway that is like somewhat hidden with rocks and fallen trees, right? Just north of the garden. Yeah. So we have that, and we have more space on the left. The two roads that lead to the to the bottom left and right, and we have that river that eventually will have a bridge. And we want to put in seasons. We want to put in weather system. We're gonna have even more content that will go out, so that if you are this type of player, you can continue to hang out in this place. There's going to be something for you to do. There's going to be quests. Currently only eggs can be put into New World, and you have some kind of a gameplay. That's our MVP, right? Over time, this game will slowly evolve. More and more features will be added in. There's going to be quests. There's going to be farming. There's going to be all kinds of again, real single player experience for players who enjoy this kind of content. And yeah, so that pretty much sums up a New World gameplay experience that we're trying to build. Yeah, and as for Legends, it's going to be the competitive game that people want, right? Right now, people may see that, okay, what's so interesting about idle battler or auto battler game, right? When something is idle or auto, the gameplay is actually not the combat itself. The gameplay is outside, right? So what essentially we are doing is that you have to strategize. You have to figure out what NFTs you want to put or team comp, right? At the same time, when the competitive version is going to come out, it is not going to be a random match, because currently right now it's a random match. And yeah, when the competitive version comes out, you have to know in depth, right, what the teams can do and which one do you have better odds of beating. And this is the part where strategy makes sense. This is the part where game knowledge is going to be important, and also being able to go offline, go to the marketplace and start trading up to the team comp that synergizes the best, or up to whatever team comps that you want to play with, so you have options. I think that's the part where strategy makes a lot of sense. And on top of that, the second phase for Legends is going to be NFT equipments. Then there's going to add a new layer of complexity into the game. And subsequently, there's going to be clan features where players get to compete as a clan. There's going to be even more content that will roll out. And basically, we are reshaping this game over time. It still has a long way to go, and we hope that each time we push out a big patch, we actually elevate the gaming experience. So currently this month we are running balancing for the entire game, right? So there are 36 characters here, and there are at least 12 more on decks to be inserted into Legends. We have two limited edition eggs. We have you can go to the NFT DB. Yeah, okay. So those who are asking inside the AMA, you can actually come to this page and you can see all of the characters and have a little bit of the backstory for them. So you can see that the standard eggs, right? There are 6 of them, and we have the limited edition eggs, and we do have the one that the community just recently designed. So there are 4 characters. We have picked the winners for various merits, and we have converted them into NFTs. The winner of the design actually get awarded the ultra rare version of it, and the rest of the community will get to purchase it sometime later, either this month or in July. Yeah. So each egg is basically its own type, and if you go into the game itself, if you look at the book, you will be able to see the skills and whatnot. But I think we're gonna have to put some NFTs in your wallet, right? So you
I
can
like
start
that.
playing Legends.
I like that. Let me get me your wallet. So I will copy my address and you can send them right over. Okay, but yeah, it's I'm looking forward to actually playing a PvP battle, because that's what I like a lot. It's I've played actually a lot, and I like these kind of games just to break my my day. You know, it's we said it in the first AMA also. It's DGPals will be there if you just want to play casually for an hour or something. But you can also spend your entire day in playing and mastering certain techniques and a certain comp of team while you are playing with against other people. But eventually there will be guild spaces and land, and so it's there's a lot of things that's down the road. And also the roadmap is huge and long, and that also tells us that you guys are not just here for the summer. You know, it's we're gonna hear a lot of you guys, or we're gonna hear a lot from you guys in the upcoming years to come.
Yeah, those who are interested in snippets of gameplay, you can come to my live stream and take a look.
Where's your live stream?
Can you see it?
Oh, let me see. Yeah, I think so. There you are.
Yeah, I'm losing this one.
Oh. Yeah, I need some NFTs, guys. I'm gonna talk to my boss. Is Noah here?
We'll get him for you. Yeah.
You need to ask them to buy, kid. We also have to buy ourselves.
Yeah, we actually minted together with the community. Yeah, so you can see that each one of them basically there's a lot of stats, different probability. There's going to be skills. Yeah, there's quite a lot of things to learn. There's going to be talent tree as well. So the NFT itself. So yeah, you're going to be able to see all of this content inside Legends, and yeah, we are we are always improving it. We are balancing it. We are looking at the data right now, and over time, I think that it will reach a spot where it's a lot more fun and also competitive for players. So those who actually are a fan of this game called Dot Arena or even AFK Arena on mobile, I think that's where the inspiration is being drawn from, right? Despite the game being simple in terms of the combat, because you don't really have to do anything, it kind of removed that pressure, right, to perform in real time, which is something that I struggle with, right? I really enjoy games like Apex Legend. I really enjoy games like Overwatch. But the thing is, when I go into the game, I get trashed. And I don't even get to, practice the weapons because I get killed, right, almost instantly in any conflict. And that's where I am unable to enjoy some of these games. And when I do find a game that is my pace, yeah, I kind of, play a little bit longer, and that's the kind of things that we build on top of this, right? So you can take the time you need to strategize, to go and read up. At the same time, once you're familiar with the game mechanics and whatnot, then it boils down to you choosing your opponents carefully during the competitive seasons, so that you maximize your win, and you know that your team has better odds of beating the other team because you know inside out the game mechanics and whatnot.
Yeah, it's looking really fun. It's actually not that static like you would expect from 2D art. It's actually has a lot of graphics in it.
Yeah. So this is a legend.
Yeah, nice, really nice. And it's indeed one of the questions was what kind of computer do I need? It's a web-based. It's HTML5 if I'm correct. So you can actually play it on every web browser. I do recommend to play it on a computer or on a Mac because you have a bigger screen. But I think for the auto battler, it's very doable on a telephone as well to earn your daily quests and your daily rewards and your weekly quests. But when you really start to play competitive, I think it's important that you have oversight in what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go back to some questions. What is a good question?
Right. So I think Amethyst brought up a question with regards to the VC guild, right? So yeah, this is actually a good topic, right? So just to share with you, yesterday we were at Cradle.com's event, and I bumped into the founder of Avocado Guild. And yeah, so basically he's sharing with us like some of the things that they have spotted in the market. They basically are our partner guilds, and they did actually buy up not only our tokens in the private round, they also bought a bunch of the NFTs so that their scholars can play. So right after the second day, we actually received a Word document, multiple pages long, of all the feedbacks and all the bugs that they have found, and suggestions for improvement, so on and so forth. So you can see that these VC guilds, they are not just here to what I call them as vouchers, right? To come here and just suck up the game's yields and then move on to the next game, because they're incentivized to really help us out, help us build a game, because their revenue model is not just about the game yield, but primarily is to make sure that the token is worth something when the cliff is over and the vesting starts to roll, right? So our VC guilds are actually our partners, and the thing is, they are heavily incentivized to test the game, to make sure that they are solid, to find all the exploits, to tell us about all the meta, to figure out what beats what, and they're doing it professionally, right? So there's the manager, they are like gamers, they do reports, they write about it. I think while the community do give a sizable amount of reports and writings and bug tickets, right, to the community, having a guild's input does paint a different perception altogether, right? So because they will come from a GameFi standpoint, sustainability standpoint, and they will see from other guild standpoint, like how would a guild come in and attack this game? Like what would they do to make this game unsustainable, or even crash the economics later on? So I think that's the part whereby we need alliances formed in this manner, right? So that they can advise us carefully how to tread the water in the Web3 gaming space. And again, they'll provide a very different perspective from a regular gamer. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that games, and especially the professional guilds, are really needed in the space, and not only it's not only for Web3 spaces, but also for Web 2, for conventional gaming. I think that the high end guilds are the ones that actually dominate a certain ladder or a certain way of approaching a game, and thus the competitiveness in a guild really helps game developers evolve their game into the next level. A lot of those gamers have programming or high-end gaming background, which helps the developers, game studios like yourself, to improve on their games and mechanics, and also balancing the games on the short run and long run.
Yeah, in fact, they are visiting our studio next Tuesday, right? So again, they are like physically here in Singapore with us. So it's very easy for us to meet up, really to talk heart to heart, like how do we, move this forward together? Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Let's see, another nice question. Now, DGPal token holders will be part of the DAO. Can you tell us more about the DGPal community management? How the DGPal community management work? What will be the amount of tokens we need to invest in order to participate in our governance process, and what kind of decisions will you have right to participate in?
Can you repeat that question again, Bob?
Yeah. Now that the DGPal token holders will be part of the DAO, can you tell us about the DGPal community management? What will the amount of tokens be that we need to invest in order to participate in the governance process, and what kind of decisions will you have right to participate in?
Okay, I'm gonna right. We are not forming a DAO yet. So, however, we are openly inviting all of our community to come in and help us build up this entire space, right? So, one of the things that we have done right now is having a ambassador program and alpha ambassador program. So these are two different levels and tiers of engagement that the community is willing to commit to us. Like, not only are we trying to redefine play to earn, we want this to be sustainable. So we want to convert the earning into an exchange of services and value. So when somebody is saying that, hey, I work as a graphic designer full time, so I can design some things for you, like your merch, your marketing assets, things you put out on Twitter, things you put out on Facebook. So with that kind of involvement, then it converts into things that we have to pay anyways, right? To graphic designers, to marketing agencies, or to even like freelance designers. So we can actually pass it on to the community, this cost that we have to incur. So again, the community can participate however they want to commit with us, and yeah, we look forward to them coming in. There's no buy-in at this point. Of course, we are not ruling out the possibility of having a DAO. I think this hasn't been something that we have talked about right now.
Just
Yeah.
to add to it, but I sat down when I heard that question. I'm trying to understand um, the question itself actually.
Yeah, me
So
too. I was looking where where does this DAO question come from, because I cannot find anything in the on the website or in your Discord
yeah,
about it. So
but I guess it turned out because when you have guild that is so called working with us, trying to help each other, supporting each other from a founders level, even getting feedback from them when it comes to the mechanics, when it comes to we are just basically sharing, trying to support each other. But actually, on the governance level, we don't have anything like that so far. So far, it's really helping out each other in terms of marketing, just like how we are working with you, but like with the VersaGames. It's really from the marketing perspective, trying to support each other, enlarging the pie. If we can help the community, we help the community. Right? I think it's really towards that, right? Also sharing our own failures or difficulties among the founders or the CEOs or the leadership team, right? But it's not so much of having where suddenly this game now we have a DAO and the community belongs to us. It's really not that, I guess.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I cannot agree more. Um, Let me see another good question. I scrolled over it just now. Let me look it up again. We just discussed that. Damn, I sorry, I forgot. I scrolled over the question and I thought it was a good question, and now I lost it. There are so many questions. Oh yeah, this one. The problem with P2E games is when a player wins a small prize, they immediately withdraw from the game. This can damage liquidity of the project. So does Versa take this reality into account and manage an economic strategy upon to support the real game lovers? Again, this I think this is like five questions wrapped in one. What how we've envisioned the future is that we look for strong partners and in a way doing so protecting the exposure for VersaGames treasury. Also that working together with DGPals is for us a long strategy or a long-term strategy, because we do not see any reason that there will be devaluation of the tokens and tokenomics within DGPals, how it's built up, and also our own tokenomics is are really strong. We are here to invest in GameFi and Web3 gaming for a long time, and that's how the whole company is built up. And also why VersaGames and DGPals are working together is that we are here for the long run. So I hope that answers the question a little bit, but maybe I don't understand the question completely, like the DAO question. Is there another question you guys would like to answer, Kit, Samson?
Yeah, I'm browsing through the question. Lots of them.
Yeah, a lot of them touch each other on same topics like tokenomics and NFTs and gameplay. And there's some of the community members really are answering a lot of questions for us. So one of them is L. Thank you for supporting us in answering a lot of questions.
Yeah, so these guys are our alpha ambassadors and ambassadors. So they actually hold a community building role inside our Discord. So yeah, appreciate for coming over and helping out.
Yeah, guys, Amethyst is also one of them. I bet.
Yeah, he is. He both provide questions and answers.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yes, I saw one question. I think maybe we missed it. I would love to take that up. I think asked by Elra Dave, right? Who wrote your smart contract? Are they experienced? Is this their first time? Have they worked on other big projects before? Can you mention? Basically, DG Ventures is it's also a JV between us and a company called Undercurrent. So Undercurrent, basically, we have dedicated people, a group of people working on blockchain, and that's the reason why we can launch a lot of tools. We are about to launch the marketplace. We are quite about to finish, and hopefully after that we go for audit, and then July we can launch it. So there are a lot of things that we are working with this company. Of course, they are dedicated people. We are funding them as well. So they also work on a lot of stuff on Algorand. They also build a lot of tools, automation tools, everything revolving around Web3. I think when we first started the studio, right, the first thing we asked is who can we partner to help us with the blockchain side of things, and that's how we came out. So I hope I answered that question, sir.
Nice. Thank you. Oh, now I see why there's a lot of questions. People are just copy pasting their questions. I see duplicates, a lot of them. I thought, man, there's a lot of questions still coming in, but the people are just copying their formerly posted question like half an hour ago and posting it again. So, what are DGX?
I think that's another question. I find it very interesting. I see the gap between traditional gamers and blockchain gamers.
Yeah,
Spot on, totally, and still very large. How does DGPal bridge this to attract more traditional players to try out? Basically, if you look at this question, it's a go-to-market strategy, right? So Mitalog, just to share to you, when it comes to traditional games, um, I started the esports team. They become very famous, right? In fact, they won the SEA Games for countries as well. And then we do have a large community there. And then also, I'm the proud owner of Gosu Gamers. They've been the OG. So I guess, of course, I will leverage on all these platforms that we have, the traffic that we have. and we do have presence in different parts of the world and region as well. This is just one of the go-to-market strategy. I think the other market strategy that we have is we will be announcing some third-party IPs. Right, we will let you know when it's finalized, it's signed, which is all these are mainstream IPs. We are in discussion with a few IPs. Once as and when we launch it, then you'll be able to see these are all traditional mainstream IPs, right? So those IPs, when you bring, they comes with huge communities. When the community can relate to that IP, when you bring it to DGPals or our platform suddenly becomes a platform where inclusive, right? We're not just talking about our own IP. I think the third go-to-market strategy is we are also talking to existing indies developers in different parts of the countries, right? And also different countries. We are trying to have presence in different countries where we can have people to start looking for people who wants to develop games, bring it over. There might be some IPs that are interesting enough. So these are the few ways that we are looking at. How can we invite people to be more inclusive and bring into the platform? And then we grow the community together, not just our existing community, also bringing other communities in as well. So these are the few go-to-market strategy that we have that we are looking at as well. Of course, we are looking at a presence in different regions as well. We are talking to Europe. We are talking to a few guys in US where we are looking at the marketing presence as well in those part of the world. And so let's see how it goes. There are a lot of work to be done from the business standpoint, the roadmap, not just for the product, but the business roadmap is pretty long. And we have just started. And let's see how it goes. And I'm sure all these objective for the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, we will see different things coming out. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
hope I answered that question with a lot.
I think that on top of that, at this point, what you see is that a lot of money is just circulating in the crypto space. There's hardly any new money coming in. It's going from project to project. There where the most revenue is, and then people sell off. The project get dumped, and then they continue to the next project and hope to gain more money. I think besides that. This the current market situation that is needed to how do you call it to weed out the bad projects. I think also that ease of use and not all the technical stuff is needed to adapt all the new players. The conventional gamers shouldn't be bothered with all the blockchain technology and all the difficult stuff. Which chain do I need to go to? What wallets do I need? I think on the long run, and that's also one of the visions we have in VersaGames, is that when people in the future log on to our website, they shouldn't be bothered with MetaMask or Phantom Wallet or DeFi wallet or whatever wallet. They should just log on to the website with a two-factor authentication and a login code or email and password, and then just start browsing to the marketplace or browsing to the game catalog and I like this game, I want to play that game, and what do I need for that? Do I need Versa or GGG, or what do I need to do with that? One-stop shop where you can actually have buy V-Bucks for Fortnite or gold for World of Warcraft or GGG for DGPals. It should be easy to use, and I think that will encourage also the mass adoption for all the Web2 gamers who are out there at this point.
In fact, but we just had this discussion exactly what you just brought up. This afternoon we had one, and then last few days we had one with some of the companies who are building the infrastructure. I think there are a lot of things happening. I'm sure after 3 months you see different tools coming out. One of the things that they talk about is bringing the mainstream traffic or the mainstream gamers into the space, right? It's all about reducing the complexity of the whole thing just by looking at the MetaMask is so difficult for a lot of people, right? So you can see, of course, it's not there yet, but I can see a lot of companies are attempting it, and the amount of work that I saw when I spoke to them, they put into it is very interesting. And the first thing I'll ask them, when is it going to be ready? When it's ready, let me know because I would want to adopt that and see
Yeah,
how it can be
absolutely. I
done.
imagine. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys over again. We should do this again shortly. I would like your help in selecting three lucky guys or girls who have asked the best questions in your point of view, so we can actually give them some Versa tokens.
Samson, I'll let you do the honor.
Why don't you just take one? But I'll take one. I take one. Then
Okay, we each take one.
Alright.
Let me have a look. I like the question from Amethyst. When are we going to hear about VC guilds? They have been silent and we have not heard of them since we found about the private mint. I thought that was a very good question, and it has had also a very nice answer in how it actually contributes to the whole game development and support system from VC guilds to DGPals. So I picked that one from Amethyst.
I found mine as well. It's the first one that I answered. It's like, why would a third party game want to pick up the NFT? So I think not everybody has the knowledge when it comes to game building and how adopting a NFT system that is open can actually benefit the game developers. So I think that's also something that's worth sharing to everyone. So thanks for asking that question, NDR.
And that's where was it?
NDR.
NDR.
I'm just gonna pin up. Yeah.
Yes, nice. And you,
I can't
Kit.
remember who asked me that question. I'm trying to look for the question that I answered.
The traditional gamer one?
Yeah, the go-to-market strategy. So many questions here, I couldn't find a question anymore.
I saw it. It came on the 1st of May, 1st of June, I think, even before the AMA. Let me just find it.
No, about the traditional. How do you bridge the gap between traditional and blockchain, right? And I
Yep, I saw
couldn't
that
find the
question.
question. I was like, wow.
Marina Gomez. Okay, I found it.
No, I don't think it's Marina Gomez.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
I see the gap between traditional gamers and blockchain gamers is still very large. How does DGPal bridge the attract
Yes,
more?
yes, this one.
Yes, it's okay. I gave them an emoticon with them holding up Pepe with Versa Pepe 2. Those three
Who's that
winners,
person? Oh,
Marina Gomez.
it's Marina Gomez. Okay, Kid, you're right.
Those three, so Amethyst, Marina Gomez, and NDR will get each 200 Versa. Congratulations, guys. Kit, Samson, it was an absolute pleasure to have you guys again, and I have a feeling that we can go on for a couple more hours, but let's redo this in a month or two, or maybe next month after some updates from DGPals. And I really like having you guys over every time. So thank you for coming. Thank you for answering all the questions and giving your insights.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Really, really appreciate the space and the time.
No problem.
Thank you, man. I'm sure after a month or so, you hear a different milestone unlock. I think we'll have more things to talk about. I can't wait for that, actually.
Yeah, and for everybody who tuned in later or just tuned in, don't worry. Like last AMA, I will upload it to our YouTube and share the links with you, and it will be the winners will also be announced by our mods in the announcement channel. So again, guys, thank you for having you here, and thanks for coming. So on to the next one. Great work.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Bye bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.